Tribal Bats in Bloomburrow is so good, like FernGully level good. All right, I'm not even going to try to make any more puns and tell you about the damn deck. I'm just going to show you the deck. Here we go. All right, listen, the main goal of this deck is to gain life. Every time you gain life, a different trigger is going to happen, and then you're going to take life from your opponent. So you're going to be gaining it, they're going to be losing it. It's going to be a great time, and then you're going to attack afterwards, and it's going to be even more fun. Plus, all your cards, all your creatures in this deck have flying, so it's very hard to deal with that way to begin with. All right, well, actually, hold on, lie. There's one creature that doesn't have flying, and that's this guy right here. But he speaks for himself alone. Let's be honest here, okay? So first of all, you're not going to be able to do the first effect of this card most times because you're not going to be attacking yourself. You have to lose life for you to gain flying or vigilance. That's normally not going to happen on your turn. It'll probably happen on their turn, but not your turn, okay? Now, whenever you gain life, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on this guy. Now, that's whenever you gain life. You gain it 3 times in one turn, it triggers. So that's 3 counters in one turn. I'm not kidding you. It gets big fast. And then if it dies, you get to take those counters and put them onto another creature. Nothing but value, guys. Nothing but value. Life Creed Duo. You gain life every time a creature enters the battlefield. Enough said. Sonar Strike. You deal 4 damage to tapped creature, attacking creature, or blocking creature. Whichever one it is, doesn't really matter. But whatever it's doing, you get to deal 4 damage. And then on top of that, if you control a bat, which all the creatures in this deck are bats, you gain 3 life. There's that life gain again. There's that life gain again. I don't know why I can't speak, guys. Just bear with me, okay? Now, Starscape Cleric. This Bat Cleric is so much fun because anytime you're gaining life, you're stripping your opponent of their life. You're going to do 1 damage to them every time you gain life. And if you gain life multiple times a turn, you're going to deal that 1 damage over and over and over again. It's not once per turn. It's whenever you gain life. So if you can make it so you gain life 1 at a time like this, you'll do 1 damage every time to your opponent. It's a lot of fun, trust me on that one. And then Lunar Convocation, same thing. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, you deal 1 damage to your opponent. Gotta love it, right? Now the flavor of this card is pay 2 and 2 life. You're going to be gaining so much life, so it doesn't really matter. Pay that life and you're going to get to draw a card. Or at the beginning of your end step, if you've gained and lost life, that's right, you have to gain it and lose it in the same turn, you get to create a 1/1 bat token. That's nice, right? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Moonstone Harbinger. This guy right here is the one that makes this deck kind of real potent, if you will. Anytime you gain life, your bats, all your bats, get +1/+0 and death touch until end of turn. It can only trigger once, but you only really need to trigger once, right? Moonrise Cleric. Gain 1 life anytime this guy attacks. Enough said. You have both these guys out right here. They're going to bounce off each other. It's going to be great. Zoraline Cosmos Caller. I want to say I'm saying that right. If I'm not, just let me know. If I am, then still let me know. Flying Vigilance. Whenever a bat you control attacks, you gain 1 life. So any bat can attack. It could be your token. You're going to gain that life, which then will trigger everything else. Now, the secondary ability on this card, which is absolutely great, anytime it enters the battlefield or attacks, you may pay 2 and 2 life. Like I said, you're gaining so much life, so it does not matter that you're paying that life. When you do, return target non-land permanent card with value mana of 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Yes, that's right. I get to bring something back. Value. Period. Okay? This is the cream of the crop, though. This is the card that makes this deck so much more potent. All right? At the beginning of combat. Yes, combat. So this guy triggers before you even attack. At the beginning of combat, your opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So I've gained my life. This guy's triggered, giving all my bats a +1/+0 and death touch. So now they're even more of a pain in the ass to deal with. And then I'm also gaining that life, and I'm also taking them for 1 as well. And if I have Starscape Cleric out, he's dealing another additional damage anytime I gain life. It's the steps, guys, the steps. A lot of fun, a lot of fun. And then if at the worst case scenario, if it gets targeted well in one of my main phases, I can just pay 2 life, tap it, and draw 2 cards. It's very specific, though. It's only a sorcery level spell, so it has to be in their main phase that I'm doing. It can't be just done instantly, so they can get rid of it on their turn. But I'm just saying, people try to target this card. So while they're targeting this card, they're not targeting you. If they're not targeting you, you have a more chance to hit them, right? Now, Star Seer Mentor. This card right here is so much fun. I'm not going to lie. It's so much fun. Flying Vigilance, and at the beginning of your end step, if you've gained life or lost it, yes, that's right, gained or lost. The or is very important because you only have to do one of them. And we're gaining life every turn, so it doesn't matter what's going on, all right? Your target opponent either loses 3 life, has to sacrifice a non-land permanent, or discard a card. This thing's getting straight value. Yes, it's a 5-drop. It can be a bit of a pain in the ass to get to that 5-drop and really waste 5 mana on dropping this on the field. But the second it does, they have to try to get rid of it, because every time at the end of my end step, I'm gaining life, they're having to do something no matter what. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you have to discard a card every turn, that's going to get old. If you have to sacrifice a non-land permanent every turn, that's going to get old. And if you have to lose life every turn, that's going to get old. They're going to find a way to try to get rid of this card and get it off the board. It's fun. It's okay. It's one of those, it's a more of a distraction for them to pay attention to that. Well, I have all these guys right here, beat them up a little bit. Essentially. Now I'm running 12 swamps and 12 plains. Yes, I'm running 24 land in this deck. I have not run into a mana issue yet with it, so I feel that it's a good number. But if I had to drop anything, I'd probably drop 1 swamp out of it and run 23 mana, then add something else, maybe another Essence Channeler. That's what I'd probably do. But for right now, I'm not too worried about it. It's been functioning quite well. All right. And yes, we will be switching those lands to full arts because, well, you got to run full arts. All right. You can't run around with basic lands. That just doesn't look good. And remember, like I said, all these decks I'm showing you right now are all just from Bloomburrow. Well, except for Utterly Shocking. That one has some cards from other standard sets. But the decks I'm showing you right now, the Scroll deck and now the Bat deck right here, they're all just from Bloomburrow. So if you were to reach into the rest of the standard format, you can make this deck so much more potent. So much more potent. And maybe I'll do a new video on how to make this deck so much worse. All right. Now, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, hit that gray bell notification icon, all those things you need to do. I would really appreciate if you did it now, because that is the best way to support this channel. I would really be appreciative, and it'd be awesome if you did so. All right. Now, if you want to see any of the gameplay happen, just stick around for a little bit longer. You'll see a couple of matches happen after this, and you'll see how the deck kind of plays out if you're interested in that. But if you haven't already, go ahead and have yourself a great day. You know, keep taking that first step, keep evolving. Until next time. Doses. All right, guys, we are playing bats today. FernGully, bitch. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, I'm going to go over this deck with you in a second here, but we're going to go ahead and just play a couple of rounds first and have a little bit of fun playing bats, because bats are legit. I'm not going to lie. Bats are actually kind of scary, especially when they're all from Bloomburrow and they still hit like a fucking ton of bricks. Like, seriously. All right, we mulligan down to 6, but we got a way better hand that we wanted beforehand. So we're gonna keep that, and I'm getting rid of this guy here because he's just an added bonus. He's not an actual guy you want out. So our whole deck plays off of Life Creed Duo, and I can't remember the other card's name, but he'll be out here soon. Don't worry, he'll be out here soon. No, I fucked up turn 1. I fucked up turn 2 play. Fucked up turn 2 play so bad. That's no good. I should have had. He should have been out the next one. I played 2 swamps. That's my bad. I fucked that up. Shit. That sucks. Ugh. It's all good. It's all good. They can do what they want. They can do what they want. I'm not worried about it. There we go. We're gonna have 2 plays out now. Ah, I played that wrong too. Son of a bitch. I could have gained so much more life. This guy gets fun. This guy, Essence Channeler, is... So Essence Channeler, Life Creed Duo, Sinister Monolith. I'm on that. Sinister Monolith. And this guy right here, Starscape Cleric. These are the bats that actually matter, because this thing deals 1 damage to your opponent every time you gain life. These guys gain life no matter what, and this guy continuously gains life. Like, so we're gonna play him, right? We're actually gonna play him like that, because that's what you want. You want to play the... We can't. Okay, we need a 5-drop for that. So we're gonna play here. So he's gonna do that. He's gonna come in. We're gonna have 2 counters for here. Boom, 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 boom. He's gonna do 2 damage automatically. We're gonna swing with both our guys here, because that's just what we do. And this right here, at the beginning of combat, on your turn, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So they're already taking damage. They take damage because of this guy gaining life right here. And then now, god damn it, this guy's fucking playing a lot of shit. You're gonna keep going, aren't you? You're gonna keep going, aren't you? Oh, and this guy's fun. This guy's fun. Oh. Anytime, what is it? Whenever you gain or lose life during your turn, bats you control get +1, +0, and gain death touch till end of turn. So, essentially, these guys going off will just give your guys much more health. And then I'm playing this guy next, and this is just a continual doing damage to your face. It doesn't matter how many cards he gets out. He can gain as much life as he wants because I'm going to gain life with this shit right here. Watch. Okay, next. Being in combat automatically triggers all these guys. Now they're all big, and I'm swinging with all of them to their face. Look at that. Like, that's just how this deck plays out, man. Like, you continuously gain life while taking life from them, and then your bats get all triggered, and next thing you know, they're all swinging with +1s on them, and you're doing a bunch of damage as taking life from them. It's a very... You can start with 5 cards in this deck and still wreck house, and that's what I love about it. That's what I love about it, man. That's what I love about this deck.